There we go. All right. And thank you. And oh, Cyrus, if you would, yeah, there you go. So hello, everyone, and welcome to the Crypto Science Society World UFO Day celebration and Sweet 16 birthday party. We've got some great things lined up for you today. We're going to talk about UFOs. We're going to talk about all of the crazy stuff that's happened within UFO disclosure circles over the last year. Our friend from the UFO Congress, Heidi Gadd, is going to be giving that presentation for us. And then we're going to switch over to me to chat a little bit about the folklore within the UFO community, as well as UFOs throughout history and folklore. And then the headliner is going to be my cousin and UFO guru, advisor general Alejandro Thaddeus Rojas, our man on the street from the Roswell UFO Festival. So, without chewing your ear off any farther, I'm going to pass it off to Heidi to go ahead and introduce yourself and talk about all the crazy stuff that's happened over this last year. Take it away,
Oh,
Heidi.
all right. Let me get this screen share going. Uh, oh, I think I just messed up. Let me start over. Share this screen. Window, Chrome tab.
Yep, that is by stand by, technical difficulties.
Stand by. Where'd it
No
go?
worries at all. It's one of
I'm
those
not,
things.
I lost it. Oh no, now I really lost it. Dang it.
No, you go ahead and take care of it all.
Let me get it. Jason,
Yeah,
start talking.
yeah. Folks have gotten very used to Zoom, and we're throwing you all for a loop by
I know.
uh, doing a Skype, but um, there are reasons. There's methods to the madness. Hopefully, it doesn't cause too many problems, but we appreciate you all rolling with us and bearing with us as we uh, adapt and work through. Um, Did it work? There we
It
go.
it's working. Oh,
It
except
did.
how do I get to the first page?
Mm,
There.
just
All
there
right.
you go. There you go. All right.
What's that look like?
It
Can you guys see
there.
it good?
Do it. Go back to the way you had it.
Okay.
So
Sweet.
now it's full in the screen. All right. There
All
you
right. Okay. So first, I want to thank Heather and Jason for helping put this together for me because when Jason asked me to do uh, the this year in review, I've been doing a lot of other video editing. So I was like, I don't have time to put together a slideshow as a graphic editor, right? That's funny. But that's what people in this UFO community do. We come together, we help each other out when it's necessary. All
go.
right. So yeah. All right. So we're going to get started. This is a year in review. We're going to start back in June of 2021. Uh, the Office of Director of National Intelligence Preliminary Assessment on Unidentified Aerial Phenomena briefing to Congress. So these are points that were brought up during this situation. The limited amount of high quality reporting on unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, hampers on our ability to draw firm conclusions about the nature of the intent of the UAP. Pretty deep stuff there.
And if I may chime in real quick, Heidi, just for
Yes.
you to have some perspective, a lot of our folks are a lot of our people that are watching are not um, in the United States and are not as well versed on kind of American politics as as we might be. So if um, you would please, if it's not too much trouble, add a little bit of context for what these presentations in Congress might be, or if you
Uh,
need, you can toss the ball to me.
yeah, why don't you go ahead and take that?
Okay. So really quick, what that first session was basically the United States Department of Defense issued a request for a report from the Pentagon saying we need what this is basically is saying that we know that we have information about UFOs and that the Department of Defense has been investigating them, and so the Congress uh, ordered the DoD to give them a briefing on what they know about it, and that's what this was, and that's what was happening in June of 2021. So
Yes. Excellent description. So during this briefing, they also noted that in a limited number of incidents, the UAPs reportedly appeared to exhibit unusual flight characteristics. So at least they're acknowledging this. This is what is important about this. These observations could be the result of sensor error, spoofing, or observer misperception and require additional rigorous analysis. There are probably multiple types of UAP requiring different explanations based on the range of appearances and behaviors described in the available reporting. They also noted that the UAP clearly poses a safety of flight issue and may pose a challenge to U.S. national security. The UAP documented in this limited data set demonstrates an array of aerial behaviors reinforcing the possibility there are multiple types of UAP requiring different explanations. So at least, again, they are starting to acknowledge that there are strange things happening in the sky. Although they did also include airborne clutter because, you know, as we all know, not everything we see in the sky is going to be unexplained. Although, in my humble opinion, they try to pin this on more than less. These objects would include birds, balloons, recreational unmanned aerial vehicles, drones and such, airborne debris like plastic bags. These muddle the scene and affect an operator's ability to identify true targets, such as enemy aircraft. They also included natural atmospheric phenomena, you know, swamp gas, things of this nature, thermal fluctuations, ice crystals, that these may register on some infrared and radar systems. In the briefing, it also included the USG or Industry Developmental Programs. Some UAP observations could be attributable to developments and classified programs by US entities. They were unable to confirm, however, that these systems accounted for any of the UAP reports that we collected. Of course, foreign adversary systems were included. Some UAP may be technologies deployed by other countries such as China, Russia, or a non-governmental entity. And also they included that although most of the UAPs described in our data set remain unidentified due to limited data or challenges to collection processing or analysis will require additional scientific knowledge to successfully collect, analyze, and characterize some of them. They group such objects in this category pending scientific advances, allowing us to better understand them. So then we move to August 6th of 2021, where we have the American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, AIAA. They held a UAP-related safety session at their national conference. And during this conference, they established UAPs are real and a legitimate safety issue. They also recognize that the stigma around this subject is still in existence, but it is starting to change. So that's great because, you know, less of us will be called crazy when we say we see something. However, without more data, there can be no progress. And we come back to that a lot, right? With the science. Wouldn't you agree, Jason?
yes, absolutely. And
Like,
does everybody else see are we still stuck on the first slide or?
yes, because I'm not good at slides.
Okay.
I always forget them. All right, so here's the safety session. Thanks for pointing that out. Where was I? Oh, sorry. And so, yeah, so like, as I was saying, like without more and better data, there can be no progress. And we've all been preaching that a little bit for a while. Just the sharing of the data amongst everyone, right? Ryan Graves is a strong advocate for change. So this is Ryan Graves right here. You will recognize him possibly if you're familiar with the gimbal video. And he was a primary witness of those Tic Tac UFOs from the gimbal video that the DoD released. In September of 2021, we get Project Titan, the United Nations proposed World Conference on UAP. So this is just, they're proposing that this is something that we do. What we had was representatives from CUN. Jason, can you explain what CUN is?
It's something to do with the United Nations. I forget what the C stands for.
It's like some other like branch of the
sections.
UN.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a subdivision of the United Nations.
Thank you. I couldn't remember what the C stood for either. And ICER gave a presentation to officials from the Republic of San Marino, formally requesting as a UN member of state that San Marino present to the office of the UN Secretary General a proposal for which the creation of a permanent structure within the UN, United Nations, that would be tasked with the organization of a periodic world conference on UAP. We get the world involved, that could be pretty awesome. In these presentation documents provided to the debrief, organizers highlighted 4 primary reasons this is significantly necessary to have a UN-backed initiative on unidentified aerial phenomena. The need for research, the scale of the phenomena, these manifestations of the UAP phenomena are borderless, and there is a need to move forward on this phase in a nationally based study and true global studies for this research to be successful. There's a very high potential at the scientific level, and this is for worldwide, as well as for technological spin-offs. And if you didn't know, France and Chile have been investigating UFOs for decades through officially backed government bodies. So it sounds like they're already on board, everybody. And then in the Pentagon UAP office, we had the House Armed Service Committee submitting legislation to establish a permanent UAP office to replace the current UAP task force. We get this from the debrief. Oops. It's early here for Heidi, guys. That's the Pentagon. If you didn't know, I would hope if you're here that you know that that's what the Pentagon looks like. And the reason we call it the Pentagon is, moving on. Okay.
It's shaped. Actually, it's a pentagram. No, it is a pentagram.
Is it? Okay. Math. Okay, so now we move on to November of 2021. We get the Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group. Isn't that a mouthful? AOIMSG. Isn't MSG bad for you? That's